What is percent plan complete in construction? In this video, we're going to talk about how to use it and how to use it right, where it fits in, what the real target should be, and how to actually get to the target. So if that's what you came for, you're at the right video. Stay with us. So in the last planner system, you always have the deliverables, you have the meetings and huddles, and you have the behaviors. So for the deliverables, you'll have your master schedule, pull plan, 6-week make ready look ahead plan, weekly work plan, day plan, and your percent plan complete, tracking how well you did for commitments. The meetings and huddles that you will always have will be your weekly trade partner, weekly tactical, where you do your look ahead and your weekly work plan. And you will always have the daily foreman huddle where you plan the day with the foreman. And then you'll have the behaviors of collaboration, commitment, and respect amongst the trade partners and the foreman, who are the last planners, the last people in the planning cycle. So percent plan complete is where you take the weekly work plan where everybody committed to hopefully what was a 100% commitment, meaning the trade said, I promise, I plan to do this. And you track activities that were either done or not done. And what you will do is you will divide the amount of activities that you actually got done as promised into the overall activities that were promised. So if you had 10 promises but only 8 that actually happened, you would divide 8 into 10 and you have an 80% percent plan complete. So the percentage stands for the percentage of tasks that you completed as planned. One thing that I'll note, in typical last planner circles, above 80-85% is your common target. I think it should be 100%. I'll explain that in just a minute. But I want to bring your mind to the fact that without the last planner system, in CPM, the average percent of promised activities completed are 10 to 35%. The average is about 15. It is astounding how inaccurate traditional CPM schedules are. So when we're targeting above 80%, that is a good percentage. So let me briefly talk about the 80-20 concept. Most of the time, lean practitioners will say, well, when trade partners are collaborating, if they're sandbagging too much, they'll be able to hit 100%. So we shouldn't hit 100%, okay? We should hit 80. So that means we're gonna fail on 20% of our commitments because we're scrunching or accelerating the schedule enough to we're a little bit on edge. I 100% disagree with this. This creates variation, it creates chaos, it creates distraction. It's not a good target, and we've got to, if we're going to trust each other, we got to trust that our trades aren't sandbagging. Here's what I mean by this. My target for a percent plan complete is 100%, because if you have use the TAC production system as your master schedule, which you should, and I would recommend not using CPM. If you've used the TAC production system, then you have zones for your phase. You've pull planned one zone, you've repeated that pull plan, and you've created trade flow, and you have a beautiful, flowable sequence of work that your trades can actually hit. Then when you get the 6-week make ready look ahead filter and the weekly work plan filter, you should have a schedule that you can hit with the appropriate amount of buffers. There is no risk there of sandbagging, and your target should be 100%. We do not want variation in the system. So if you do your weekly work plans right and your day plans right, the target is 100%, not 80. When you don't hit an activity, you will track it as a variance. Here are some common variances in your percent plan complete. The typical ones that the industry mentions are schedule delays, scope changes, resource issues, unforeseen conditions, work interruptions, poor productivity, and quality issues. Now, I love this because I learned from this and I started to track these variances. So the idea is, if an activity did not happen as planned, then you mark it as not made and you track the variance, and then those variances will get tracked and will be put into a chart so you can see what is happening the most, meaning what is the most frequent variance on your job. And the idea is, if you didn't hit a commitment, a promise that you've made, to do a root cause analysis on why, and then track your average or your overall variances on your project, the largest ones, and to make corrective actions on your project site to counteract or to provide countermeasures for those variances. Now, I love this, but I want to split it into two categories. So here we go. Roadblocks are things that are out ahead that can be removed that we just need to move out of the way and get rid of so that the train of trades can flow through your project. So here they are, a list of variances. RFI not answered, layout not ready or incorrect, work area not made ready, missing material or equipment, crew not ready ahead, improper planning because of overcommitment, miscommunication, change in work plan, safety concern. We also have improper sequencing, resources unavailable, work not being authorized, and a change in the work plan by the owner. So these are things that we should be able to see out ahead and remove before the train of trades comes through there. Now constraints, as I've talked about in other videos, which I'll link you to in this video as well in the description below, constraints are permanent or semi-permanent things that we have to move around. So let me list these right now. Not having enough tack zones, not having the right tack time, not having the right work packaging within tacked wagons, not having the right sequence, not having leveled labor counts to where we have an even flow, not optimizing trade processes so they can all go the same speed, the same distance apart, not configuring your zones properly, having too much variation in the system, not having improved standard work by trade, not having additional passes through the building and trying to push it all at once, not identifying key logistical features that will hold you up that we need to move around, and not understanding site constraints. These are all things that will constrain you that are permanent or semi-permanent that you need to move around. The key here is we need really to be making commitments that make sense and really trying to prevent problems, whether it's a roadblock or a constraint. And so that number, the percent plan complete, gives us an indication of that. The only thing I want to bring your mind to is that percent plan complete, as useful as it is a lagging indicator system, meaning that it will tell you after the fact how well you did. That doesn't help you prevent problems. So if you want to prevent problems, you must have a robust roadblock removal system and a constraint optimization system looking out 6 weeks ahead. That's where the 6-week make ready to look ahead planning and weekly work planning comes in. Try to prevent these things from ever happening. That will give you a higher score and it will prevent the variances. And so if you just remember this entire system with our roadblock removal and constraint optimization system 6 weeks out and then a week out are here to prevent them from ever happening, and we really need to keep our eye focused there as a leading indicator, then you hopefully will have a great time with your percent plan complete as a lagging indicator because you won't have a very low percentage. Hopefully it will be very high, and when you do have a variance it will be a one-off and you can do that root cause analysis and prevent it going forward because of the PDCA or Deming cycle. So as a gift in this video, in the description below, I'm going to link you to a beautifully formatted Canva graphic that lists these roadblocks and constraints that all make up the variances as a part of this PPC system. And I hope that as you're using Tact and Last Planner, you can track the percentage of your promises completed on those weekly work plans and get a really nice score and really target flow by reducing that variation ahead and tracking and fixing problems as they come up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.